Let's bring in Florida Congressman Greg Steube. Okay, Congressman, it's good to have you on. Okay, so the CDC says if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask outside. Critics saying President Biden sending the wrong message, saying he's going to do his patriotic duty to wear a mask outside still, even though he got vaccinated. Is that sending the wrong message about vaccines when we need to get to herd immunity to get back to normal?
Well, it's absolutely sending the wrong message about vaccines, and their own CDC is giving different guidance based on being outdoors. You can be outdoors in a small group of people if you've been vaccinated, but you can't go to a baseball game that's outdoors or an athletic event that's outdoors. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And what you guys were talking about with you in D.C. you can go to a wedding, but you can't dance. The American people are over all of these mask mandates and guidance coming from our own government that doesn't make any reasonable amount of sense, and there's no factual basis, scientific basis to show that the lockdowns work. And Florida is your example A of that evidence. Look at the deaths in New York. They've had 20,000 more COVID deaths than we've had. California's had 30,000 more COVID deaths than we've had. And we've been open since May. Our kids have been in school. There's been no mask mandates statewide in the state of Florida. Our businesses have been open. And if mask mandates and lockdowns and all of that worked, then you would see a completely opposite number here in Florida. Our numbers for COVID would be skyrocketing versus numbers from California and New York, and that's actually just not factually what's occurring right now.
Okay. You know, Biden, by the way, President Biden also said as Barack Obama's running mate that it was, quote, patriotic to pay higher taxes. So setting that aside for a second, the question was, you know, do you shut down to get a hold on what was going on with the virus and then reopen, or do you target the vulnerable, meaning senior citizens and other people who have, you know, pre-existing conditions, making themselves prone? Because, you know, now the thing is a whole lot of Americans don't want to take vaccines. And when you see the president wearing a mask outside, that could threaten the overriding goal of getting America vaccinated. What do you say?
Yeah, it's completely undermining their argument. Like Rand Paul and others have said, there should be some type of reward. If you're going to get vaccinated, you shouldn't have to wear a mask. And the CDC should update their guidance based on the fact that you've been vaccinated. And to these taxes, why in the world are we going to institute the highest tax in the developed world on the American citizens and American businesses at a time where most of these businesses are coming out of being locked down and coming out of COVID-19? And in Florida, they find employees and staffing to staff their businesses right now. Why in the world would we then lop taxes on top of these small businesses that are trying to grind out and dig out of being locked down for COVID for the last year?
Now we've got Biden and the Democrats. They want to tax and spend away. They want to try to wipe out COVID risk with taxing and spending. The critics are saying they don't want to grow the economy. They want to grow the government and grow the IRS. Let's watch former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie on this. Listen to this.
Get ready, everybody, for a new weaponized, aggressive, in-your-face, in every aspect of your life, Internal Revenue Service. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, way out socialist liberal. And so I'm willing to let that take some time for the American people to have it sink in.
You know, so we risk now high inflation with all this government spending and money printing, and there's still a lot of slush funds and pork projects in these $6 trillion worth of spending plans Biden wants. What do you say, sir?
Yeah, there was only 6% of the $1.9 trillion that actually went to COVID relief in the last bill. The $2.3 trillion that they want to spend on infrastructure, only 4% of that would go to roads and bridges, and only 2% to ports and waterway type projects. Everything else to different social programs, to the Green New Deal Light, to all these different programs that they want to put in place. And in that bill's $400 billion for what Governor Christie was alluding to give more billions of dollars to the IRS for them to investigate people that are skirting their taxes. It's crazy what's in these bills and not focused on rebuilding America in the way that we need to rebuild America by opening the country up, letting the free market reign, and not taxing our companies into oblivion.
Got it. Congressman Steube, good to see you. Next up,